In this video, we're going to take a look at the difference between true forgiveness versus spiritual manipulation so that you can protect your energy from these types of energy vampires. I will give you a very simplified but precise definition of forgiveness so that you will never be confused again. Forgiveness is being used to manipulate survivors, and I feel there's a need to expose it. I'm really fed up of survivors being exploited by abusers, the ignorant, and abuser sympathizers. Forgiveness does not negate justice, nor does it gloss over the upset or destruction caused by perpetrators. Forgiveness is a process. It takes time. Usually it is part of a healing journey. No one should be guilted into forgiving before they are able to process or integrate the negative effects of abuse or unpleasant experiences. Survivors should not be gaslit into believing that post-traumatic stress symptoms are caused by the survivor's unwillingness or inability to forgive. This type of pressure, in and of itself, is emotional and psychological abuse. Forced premature declaration of forgiveness can cause compounded mental distress. There are people who twist the scriptures to suit their perverted agenda, and there are those who, due to ignorance and blind faith, propagate erroneous teachings. There are also those within the spiritual community who use esoteric teachings to manipulate survivors into silence. There are many forms of abuse in many different circumstances. Everyone has their own personal stories, their own healing journey, but this seems to lose its meaning under the weight of forceful pressure, emotional manipulation, spiritual gaslighting, or guilting persons into relieving the conscience of perpetrators, protecting the reputation of the nefarious, and even worse. Authentic forgiveness cannot be forced. It naturally occurs as part of one's healing when you understand when you have taken your power back. A simple definition of forgiveness: forgiveness is the capacity of a person who has been wrong to fully acknowledge and accept what has happened to them. It involves recognizing that harm or injury has occurred whilst consciously choosing not to seek revenge. Forgiveness does not deny wrongdoing, nor does it excuse it. Justice remains essential in cases of criminal behavior. Accountability and correction are necessary in circumstances in which moral or accidental harm has occurred. For anyone new to the channel, my name is Patrice Elliott. I'm an integrative psychological therapist and a metaphysician. On this channel, I give simplified practical information on metaphysical, psychological, and esoteric knowledge. To help the YouTube algorithm, do like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you. There are persons who are harboring evil intentions, and there are those who are woefully ignorant that interpret trauma as meaning that the person has not forgiven the perpetrator. I will tell you a story to help you understand better what I'm talking about. So forgive me, I'll try not to be clumsy with my wording, and I'm not wishing to downplay what is happening. It's just that I have to use specific words in order for my videos to be seen. I have gone from 24,000 views to sometimes like 97 views on some of my videos. And I would ask you please to do like, share, subscribe, because it does help. And also leave me a comment, even just to let me know what country you're listening from. Personally, for me, I do like that if you let me know what country you're listening from, because it actually inspires me. Thank you. So this story is about a person of a particular religion. It was told to me by someone in that same religion that I'm calling it a Sunday club. Okay, so they both attend the same Sunday club. So you can know what I'm talking about. And it's a disturbing story. And I'll try to be tactful And you don't have to listen any further because I have already made my point anyways that I wanted to make. But this lady told me personally, right, about another person in her Sunday club who was essayed by her father. This person is now a grown woman and the father is getting older. And the person telling me this story believes that the person, this lady who was essayed as a child by the father, and by the way, the person isn't even over the trauma, and by her not being over the trauma, that's, is seen as a part of her lack of forgiving, and not a failure of these systems. It is propagated as the failing of the actual person who is essayed, and that she should be the caretaker, bathing. Imagine this, that you are still in pain. If you're still in pain, you've been essayed, and you are now to physically be in physical contact with the person, bathing them, the person who is is mentally disturbed when it comes to that area, and you're supposed to touch them. You're supposed to bathe them. I mean, I was so shocked. I was very angry, in fact, when I was told this story. Anyway, so it didn't seem to matter to the person who was telling the story, because she's of a belief that you forgive, you move on, and you take care of the person no matter what, because that's your father. It's like it didn't occur on anybody that that's the father, and that shouldn't have ever happened. But anyhow, let me try not to give myself a high blood pressure. The person who told me the story stated that it's the woman's job, being the daughter of that man, that the man is, oh yes, she said that the man is forgiven. And this was said with an absolute coldness. And she said that all the man who did what he did to his own child, all he has to do is say, he only has to ask Christ for forgiveness, and that's it. I asked about the pain and suffering that the lady was still enduring, and it didn't seem to matter. There was just a cold response that it's the duty of that person to take care of their dad. I've actually edited this video and re-edited the video because I do want to get my point across. Survivors are made to feel that they are suffering because they have not forgiven. When survivors are suffering from flashbacks and moments of distress, they are made to feel that it is due to their unrighteousness and their inability to forgive. In my early 20s, when I was undergoing therapy, I had gone to a pastor who was a Christian counselor. He instructed me to apologize to the person who essayed me, that I should apologize to him for holding grudges. A few weeks ago, I can't remember this guy's name. I don't even know if I'm supposed. Well, he said it himself. So if I found his name, I'm sure I should have been able to say his name. But if anybody knows who I'm talking about, please, comment the name, put the name in the comment, because he said it himself in an interview that he makes the survivors say thank you to the predators for what they have done to them. It's hard to know how to phrase this language because of the way that YouTube operates. I'm so dubious about continuing the story because I don't want this video to be suppressed, because such a struggle for me. Oh boy, we went into, it was a dark discussion basically, and what I gathered out of it that it doesn't matter A lot of people don't, child protection is not on the radar of many persons. That's all I can tell you from the what was said, and I can't get into the whole thing, even I'm already getting kerfuffled. But so, and because of YouTube censorship and so much that we're not allowed to say, then I'm forced to just, it feels like we're being silenced in so many ways. This person is studying to become a Christian counselor and seems to have no regard for the vulnerable. And she's incredibly intelligent, but when it comes to religious indoctrination, like all the intelligence seems to go out the window. On a personal level, I also share a similar history, except it's not my father, it's my eldest brother. And I can tell you from personal experience, as well as from the work that I do, there's a lack of regard for the harm caused in certain situation, and there is a cover-up. And persons are persecuted by those who should protect them. A client actually told me that he was put into care when he disclosed to his teacher what his brother was doing. His brother was 3 years older than him, and he was 10 years old, and the brother was 3 years older, and he was the one who was actually put out of the home for shaming the family, and that what happened to him in the home was even worse than what was happening at home. And because of that, he became a violent person who, went to prison and all kinds of different things that happens to him. So I'm just, and many people are afraid of their families, what will happen if they speak out. Even as adults, they are still afraid because they don't know what will occur if they speak out. So this is very dark, it's very dark things that is happening. A lot of families, more than you know, and a lot of religious organizations, they side with perpetrators. And so you do not have to, you're not forced into forgiveness. The Bible doesn't force you. The Christ says, forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, but it does not negate the responsibility of others. It does not negate justice, and it is a process, and God is good and Christ is good, and forgiveness, like I said, naturally occurs within the actual healing, but it is a process. You can help this video reach more people by engaging. Let me know where you're listening from or watching from. Also, I'm going to give a free reading. I do readings. I think maybe I said it in other videos. I do reading. And I'm going to give a free reading to a commenter. I'm going to do a lucky dip, right? So that means in the next video, I will say what wins. I'm just trying to encourage people to actually comment, because I don't know why people don't comment. I've found like a lot of people don't comment anymore, especially on serious videos. But your comments really do help, even a heart. But comment. Yeah, comment, read me if you're interested in being in a lucky dip, and then I'm going to state who the winner is in the next video. So if you're the only one who commented, you're guaranteed a reading. And yeah, so my videos are for general information only. If you are interested in the work that I do visit my website, or you can contact me by email or WhatsApp to arrange a free consultation. And until next time, love, light, life.